Yep.
So, how much faith should we have in Steve J. Stroud? How much faith do the Vikings have that Justin Jefferson will make a quick return? And are we starting to lose faith in Dak Prescott? Well, we're going to see if we can find the answers to those questions and many more as we get you ready for week 6. Week 6 of fantasy, week 6 of the NFL. We've got it all right here for you tonight on Fantasy Football Fever, which starts right about now. Hello, one and all. Welcome to another edition of Fantasy Football Fever. It is Tuesday night, October the 10th, 2023. Good afternoon, good evening, good night, good overnight, whenever you're watching, however you're watching. Thanks for making this part of your week. It is yours truly, Tim McClellan, joined by my two partners in crime, Mr. John Flynn over here and Mr. John Natali over here. How you guys doing?
Doing good.
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Doing okay. You people are probably wondering why I'm wearing this stuff here. Well, see, the thing is, unlike this one quarterback that I root for, this guy does not choke in big time games. This guy shows up.
Yes.
But we'll get to that in just a little bit. So anyway, we got all the stuff ready for you. We got our fantasy recaps, our previews. We got your starters and sit-ems. We have our matchups of the week. We have our predictions. And we have a brand new feature that we're going to be debuting on the show tonight. That will happen right after we do our starters and sit-ups. But right now, as you can plainly see on your screen right here, we are going to review our week in our fantasy league. And we will begin with Mr. Natali. And no, folks, that is not a typo. That is not a misprint you're looking at. That is the actual final score from Jonathan's matchup with David St. Dennis. Obviously, David does something that which is a very huge mistake for all fantasy players, forgetting to set your roster, check your waiver wires, check the injury reports, the two probably biggest things in fantasy football. That's what you got to do. So, taking a look at the matchup, it was 165.84 to 32.7. So obviously what really came through for Flynn was Russell Wilson just getting above his projections. Travis Etienne Jr. pretty much doubled up his projections. Good job on his part. Tyreek Hill, well, Tyreek Hill was Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, I think he had 181 yards receiving and a touchdown. I think that touchdown went for 74 yards.
Jeez.
Amazing. The Tua and Tyreek combination seems to be working exceptionally down in South Beach. Devontae Smith from the Steelers projected at 15.1, but only got just almost 2 points.
Yep, one catch for 6 yards is all he got because that Eagles game was an AJ Brown and Dallas Goedert game, and so he wasn't a big factor into it. He did have 5 targets, but he only wound up with one reception. And I had Devontae Smith and started him in both of my leagues, and I was pissed about it. But yeah, but
Travis Kelce exceeded his expectations. Michael Pittman slightly less. Fabio Okereke.
Yep, Fabio Okereke.
Okay. Getting points. Just about broke even with Lions defense, special teams. Evan McPherson, I believe you said was a start last week.
I believe he was a stardom. I started him.
And he got 12 points off of that. Over to David. Pretty disappointing. Of course, main reason was he forgot to set his roster. David, if you're watching, set your roster, dude.
Yeah. And even if he did start, he did start Brees Hall and Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas, it still would not have been even close to enough to beat me. He needed a new kicker. He didn't pick up a kicker. He didn't pick up a quarterback. So,
Hey, I'll go on the record and say I tried making a trade with David, but he never responded to the trade. I wanted to give him Jordan Love, give him somebody.
so
I'm gonna go on the record and say I offered him Jordan Love and George Kittle for Alvin Kamara.
Now that you know how I feel about Jordan Love after he was terrible after he threw the ball to the other team last night. So.
It wasn't that. I mean, the main reason why I started Jordan Love, why I started Justin Fields was because Adam had DJ Moore. So I figured if DJ Moore gets points, I'm going to get points too with Justin Fields. That's why I did that.
And I think we should skip over to Adam's.
But unfortunately, it wouldn't matter. I got a butt pounding, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway.
To your match, I think your matchup, was one of the highest scoring ones because it was 176.54. It was probably 49 points from DJ Moore. That was great. But it wasn't he wasn't the highest scoring receiver of the week.
Right. Yeah. Even if I did start George Kittle, I don't think it would have mattered.
Yeah, so let's see. You got
Kittle had a freaky week. He had 3 catches; they're all touchdowns.
Yeah. That's why he's now one of the top 6 tight ends in fantasy now.
Yeah, and I had to pick up a random running back. Unfortunately, I picked the wrong one because my guy was on a bye. So Gus Edwards didn't do anything for me.
Yeah,
I had to pick a random running back.
Yeah. I mean, if you started Kittle and Pickens,
maybe it would have been very close.
Yeah,
but the rest of my receivers, they're hard sits. I didn't really want to sit Ridley. I didn't want to sit Zay Flowers. Those were tough sits.
Yeah, but if you had your choice of George Pickens against that Baltimore secondary, or Calvin Ridley against the Bills.
Yeah,
Ridley did have a nice day. He gave you 20.6 points.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and I wasn't going to sit my secret weapon either. That came back to bite me the last time.
Yeah, but it really didn't matter because Adam Oliver had it going on with DJ Moore. So 176.54 to 143.58. You were defeated on that. So here's the next matchup.
Eek.
Oh yeah. Lucas really bounced back on this one, taking down Andrew St. Clair by a score of 181.46 to 139.96. And it looks like Jamar Chase was the top scorer in Lucas's team this year. 52.2 fantasy points. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. With that, Lucas is now the highest scoring player in the league. He went from last to first, just like that.
It's 15 catches, 192 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm. After week 1, Lucas was the lowest scoring player in the league, and now week 5, going into week 6, Lucas is now the highest scorer in the league.
Yeah, and he also got 23 points from the Steelers defense. He got he got 20 points from Puka Nacua, despite Cooper Kupp being back. He did catch a touchdown, and despite Cooper Kupp having nearly 120 receiving yards, he did have a very good day.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But he also got 20 points from Josh Jacobs last night, and yeah. Meanwhile, hey, Kyle Pitts actually had a good game, 15.7 points. I have Kyle Pitts in my other league. Ernest Jones get 15 points. Graham Gano had 12 points. Graham Gano finally had a good fantasy outing for. Although he didn't, I think Gano did shank a field goal to the right in the first quarter, but yeah. But
I wonder how he could have missed that field goal. And I was thinking of adding this little thing to our show. You probably missed it when Lucy swiped the football away at the last second.
Yep.
That's for all you Charlie Brown fans out there.
Yep.
Yeah, we're all familiar with that. Brandon Ayuk, he wasn't much of a factor basically because it was basically the George Kittle show.
Yeah, and here's Dashy to point out Jamar Chase, 15 catches, 192, and 3 touchdowns. And
I know, Dashy, you're so happy with those Bengals up there. I'm actually surprised.
And Joe Burrow's back. He's back to his old self.
Yeah, and now the Bengals have the toughest schedule in the league remaining because their next 3 games. They have a bye week in between, but they have Seattle this week. Then they have their bye, and then San Francisco on the road, and then Sunday night at home against Buffalo.
Ooh, that's gonna be kind of putting them through the ringer.
So, yeah. I mean, if you're a Bengals fan, that's really putting it through the ringer. And I think and some of the other games that they still have. Yeah, but that's basically the creme de la creme of their schedule with the next month.
Right.
Yeah. So 181.46. Lucas scored the most points in our league. And now, Tim, to your matchup.
Well, looks like I was able to get another victory here. Take it down my buddy and my fellow horseman, Alex Putnam. Man, I feel sorry for Alex. Start 0-5. Anyway, I took this one 148.78 to 125.76. I guess it is a good thing I decided to start Joe Burrow. I mean, looking at my bench player, Jalen Hurts, my other quarterback, he almost finished with the exact same amount of fantasy points. Then I got Devon Chain, but he is over. I think he's down.
I think he's going to be out for a couple of weeks. Achan, that's the name. Devon Achan. But almost all of his points were on a 68-yard touchdown run near the end of the first half of Miami's game against New York.
Yeah, Cortland Sutton did not get expectations. Sam Laporta, the tight end for Detroit, I'm really liking this guy.
And with his performance on Sunday, Sam Laporta through 5 weeks is the number 1 tight end in fantasy football. Number 1. Not Travis Kelce.
Oh my goodness.
Not Travis Kelce, not TJ Hawkinson, not George Kittle, not Mark Andrews. It's Sam Laporta.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I got some pretty good points from that Saints defense special teams. That was pretty awesome right there.
34-0 shutout against the New England Patriots, and
yeah, I left 14.5 fantasy points on the. No, that was 15.8 left on the table from Raheem Mostert.
Yeah. Yes. So now that means Raheem Mostert's got to be a must start because now Achan is going to be out for a while, so he's going to get the boatload of the attempts.
There's your first big tip.
And Jeff Wilson Jr. might come back from IR.
I also did see that too. So, but I think that's gonna that may help. So I think if Achan is out, I think Jeff Wilson is someone who you want to pick up, and he is included in our slides about everyone's projections.
So on Alex's side, looks like the only player that really did good was Dalton Schultz from the Texans, Jalen Waddle from the Dolphins, Marquise Brown for the Cardinals. Dolphins defense special teams are very good. Almost pretty much spoke even with Younghoe Koo.
Yeah, and Jalen Waddle finally scored his first touchdown of the season, I believe. So that's why he got over the hump.
Yeah, good breakthrough right there.
Yeah, and also a tip for those of you with defensive players, linebackers are pretty valuable. Because those that can make a lot of big plays. I mean, Fred Warner. How about my guy Fred Warner? Set 13 points.
Woof.
Wow.
And I think last week for me, I think Bobby Wagner got like 18 or something.
Yeah, I know because I think he because I think he had made a couple of big plays in that Seattle Giants game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had 2 sacks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He usually doesn't sack that much. He usually does regular tackles.
Yeah.
Because I needed a replacement for Nick Bolton, so that's why I picked him up.
Yeah. So and Putnam only got 8.4 points out of Tony Pollard on Sunday night.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean we couldn't do anything on offense. Hey, why don't you play that for me? Let's very much describe the Cowboys this week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Play Coach Jim.
Jim.
We couldn't do diddly poo offensively. We couldn't make a first down. We couldn't run the ball. We didn't try to run the ball. We couldn't complete a pass. We sucked.
Jeez.
Yeah. That was definitely the Cowboys this Sunday.
We had a photo finish in this one, and Dino got the upper hand.
114.24 to 112.98. Yes, photo finish indeed. Even though Casey got 34.08 points from Brock Purdy, just wasn't quite enough. Got 20.9 from David Montgomery, 25.1 from Stephon Diggs. Got 14 from the Packers defense special teams. Unfortunately, he left 16.8 points on the table by DeAndre Swift and 15.2 points from Cole Kmet. Anthony Richardson, I guess it's a good thing he benched him because they only got that. So let's take a look at Dinos. Yeah. 27.7 points from one of my favorite tight ends, Adam, hooked on a Thielen.
It's a wide receiver, Adam Thielen.
Wide receiver. Oh yes, a wide receiver, Adam, hooked on a Thielen. Ooga shaka, ooga 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 shaka, ooga ooga.
David Hasselhoff's most underrated version.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but he got points from the Ravens defense, didn't get any. But the rest of his team underperformed. But Adam Thielen put him over the top.
Yep, sure did right there.
Yeah. So all of that in mind, I think we should now take a look.
Wait a minute, hold on. Before we move on, some guy named the French Friar put a comment. I think there's a bug behind Tim on the wall. At the comment section, I think there's a bug behind Tim.
Yeah, I think he's talking about he might be.
Might be talking about my flag.
Yeah.
Yeah, after what happened Sunday night, I'd like to use that and swat some flies in my room here.
And
That's how bad it
yeah.
was.
Uh,
All right, well, thank you, French Fryer, and glad you're watching. Thanks for watching. Tell your friends about us. So I guess that's basically the scoreboard right there. So I guess what we do now. Oh, wait a minute. We got a preview for next week. I forgot.
yes, we
that.
are.
Yeah, we gotta go to this one here. Yeah, we gotta go to Lucas versus Flynn. So right now, Flynn's at 4-1, Lucas at 3-2. Looking at all the check marks, mostly on Flynn's side. So Lucas has Kirk Cousins and Josh Jacobs. Puka Nakua for the Rams. Zaire Franklin and Jake Elliott first kickers. Looks like Flynn's pretty much got the meat of the sandwich up there with James Cook and Tyreek Hill. With Travis Kelce still questionable. He was noticeably limping a little bit in that game last week, but he came back and brought it out. But we'll have to keep an eye on him. Michael Pittman Jr. Last two best special teams got to get those out. So right now, Flynn has the edge on that one in the projected totals at 147.1 to 121.6.
Yeah, and also a couple of things to know. I can't touch the Browns defense this week because they're going up against San Francisco, who's the number one offense, one of the best offenses in the NFL, and then the Lions are going up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Even they are coming off a bye week, but I think it's a matchup that I'm going to take, that I'm pretty comfortable taking my chances on. And I also want to see about Trevor Lawrence or Russell Wilson, because I feel like Russell Wilson's gonna have a tough time against Kansas City, so I might switch Trevor Lawrence and Russell Wilson, and then we're going to see what I think about Chris Godwin, because Devontae Smith is going up against the Jets secondary, which of course has both Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed. So do I like my chance? So that's going to come down to whether or not I like my chances with Chris Godwin. But with Lucas, he's going to have to make some changes, because James Conner is now on IR, and the Steelers defense is off this week.
Yeah. So that's basically how that matchup looks like. Okay, we're going over to Natalie and going against David right now. Once again, buddy, you gotta make some serious changes. Right now, he's got 148.6 projected total against you, so gotta switch it up a little bit, buddy.
Yeah.
Looks like Justin Fields, Christian McCaffrey, who of course was excellent this past Sunday night, Calvin Ridley, Hawkinson, Bobby Wagner, yeah, he was one of the big stars on the 49er defense Sunday night. So, yeah, he would be a definite start right there. Bills defense special teams, yeah, I could possibly agree with that. Right now, Damian Pierce, CeeDee Lamb, and Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Jason Myers. Only good standouts for David, but David, make those changes, buddy. Very important.
Alrighty then, here we go. We have
Nick Forrester just traded Kenneth Waller for AJ Brown and Jake London. What do y'all think?
Ooh, I think you definitely got a steal there. I think he's won that. I think you won that trade hands down.
Yeah, I think the question is, but now that the depth of the running back position all across the league is suddenly changing because you already have you've already seen injuries to Saquon Barkley and Nick Chubb, and now you're seeing two more with Achan and James Conner. So the running back market for high value is getting really thin. So obviously I like AJ Brown, but I wonder aloud though if you can get you can find value at the wide receiver position from other places. So I'm very interested to see how that's going to go. And he also asks, there's another question up here. So before we get to that, he has another, right. So he has Patrick Mahomes, Tony Pollard, David Montgomery, AJ Brown, Calvin Ridley, Garrett Wilson, and Evan Ingram.
Ooh, that looks pretty strong.
That sounds like a pretty strong roster right there.
Yeah. Yes, so I think the question is how long is David Montgomery going to keep being used at a high clip, and when they're going to incorporate? I know Jahmyr Gibbs missed some time last week, but when are they going to incorporate Jahmyr Gibbs into the running attack? It feels like at the end of the season, so. I definitely think if you're in a position like this, you'll probably need to check out the waiver wire at the running back position from time to time, because you don't know when you're going to when you're going to get it. Anyway, we back to the question: 12-team PPR, which is similar to our league.
I trade Cook. I'm assuming you're talking about James Cook, I presume.
Let's assume James Cook.
Yeah. Yeah, there's also a Dalvin Cook, but more like a James Cook, I think he's talking about.
Yes. So James Cook and Calvin Ridley for Kyren Williams in a 12-team PPR. I'd say I'd give it a try. Don't you think? I think you should do it.
Yeah, might as well. Yeah, yeah. He's clearly the number one running back right now. He's been actually pretty solid, despite the Rams being a so-so team. Williams has actually been very, very good. I'd say take a flyer.
Yeah, I'd say go for it. You don't really have much to lose, I guess. And I think Flynn's just I think it's just a bad thing personally, Ken. And our screen showing the matchups is just gone blank. I think he's frozen again. But Carson, thanks for watching. Thanks for your question. I'd go for that. But Nick,
Oh yeah,
we just mentioned earlier with Mahomes, Pollard, Montgomery, Brown, Calvin Ridley, Garrett Wilson. I think that is a solid lineup for your fantasy right there. And yeah, looks like Flynn's pretty much frozen again. So I guess we'll just have to talk amongst ourselves right now until he gets back. Because I'm basically the host of the show, but Flynn has the controls on this one. So.
Oh, okay. So you can't view anything, right? Like you can't view the playoff picture or anything like that.
Well, we could. I mean, if when Flynn gets back and we finish our previews for our fantasy matchups for this week, I guess we could do like if the playoffs were to begin. I mean, I know it's only week 6.
Right.
It's still very early in the season. There's 18 weeks in the season. 17 games for each players for each team. So there's still a lot of football left to play.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm still and like I said, I'm still reeling over Sunday night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
At least there's one good thing happening in Texas, like baseball related.
The Rangers scored more points than the Cowboys.
Yeah, not only that, I think they're advancing to the ALCS. Oh, there you go. Flynn's back.
Yeah. So anyway, we were we were up to here.
Yeah, we were talking about the Tally's matchup with David. So not really much to say there until David can make some adjustments, and I hope he does.
Yeah, and I think for his sake, he better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think we can clear out that one comment from Carson right there. We pretty much gave our opinion for that. Go for it, Carson. I would say go for the trade, see what happens. I think you might break. It sounds like you might break even.
Yeah.
It looks like you skipped one, but yeah, we could do that one first and then go back.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, you're already on that one, so might as well just do it first.
Yeah, let's go ahead. We got Team Pizzle. Alex is still looking for his first victory of our season. He's going up against Dino, and right now the projections are very close. 136.4 for Dino, 133.1 for Pizzle. Looks like Dino has the edge as far as his starting lineups, including Justin Herbert, who's got a good game Monday night against the Cowboys. We'll preview that one later. Cooper Kupp runneth over. Mike Evans, Divine Diablo, Ravens defense special teams, and Jake Moody, the kicker for the Niners. Looks like the best projection is for Cooper Kupp. Just got back on the starting list for the Rams there.
Yeah, so Dino got both Jonathan Taylor and Cooper Kupp back last week. So
yeah.
So it looks like that his team is going to be a problem for the rest of our league the rest of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's got Derrick Henry, Deebo Samuel, David Njoku, and he's got Adam Thielen to back him up as well, who's been one of the top receivers in fantasy so far. I mean, yikes!
Oh yeah. And
yes.
Pizzle's got Pollard and Madison. Good players. Of course he's got Waddle. He's got Dalton Schultz because those Pat Frymouth is out for the Steelers. Steelers are on the bye anyway. So hopefully, I mean, I don't really root against anybody here, but maybe Pizzle can make the necessary changes and get his first victory of the league this season. I think we got one more game to look at.
So we have two more games to look at.
Okay, I kind of miscounted there. Adam versus KC. 141.9 for Adam, 98.6. That sounds normal for KC, but not here. But right now, the advantage is all for Adam with Mahomes and Mixon, with Waller, Moore, Roquan Smith, the Bengals defense special teams. And it also looks like Pittsburgh, Green Bay. TJ Watt and the Green Bay Packers. He's going to have to make some changes there because both those teams are on the bye. In fact, they're the only two teams on the bye this week.
Yeah. And Roquan Smith going to be tasked with tackling Derrick Henry and Najee Spears. So I think he's. I mean, we don't. we don't factor in defensive players in our must starts, but he's definitely one you need to start if you have defensive players and you use our tackling rules on that. So, all right, and we have one more matchup, and that is the one between you and Andrew, Tim.
Yeah, that's right. Right now, Andrew's got projected total of 125.5. I got 119.8. I definitely have to sit down to find a chain. I think I keep mispronouncing that name, but
Achan.
Achan. Devon Achan. Gotta sit him because of course of his injury this past week, and he has really become a great running back for the Dolphins, great running back in fantasy, but unfortunately, I'm going to have to sit him down. I think I'll put Raheem Mostert back in there because he'll probably be taking most of the carries for the Dolphins.
Yeah, and then Andrew's going to have to make an adjustment because Jaylen Warren and his Steelers are off this week. So the question is, could this be the week that Saquon Barkley comes back for the Giants? If not, he's gonna have to either gonna throw in Zach Moss or pick up someone from the waiver wire.
Okay, now I'm looking at my roster now, and I kind of have an interesting question.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I've got an interesting question right here. Which tight end should I start? Should I start Sam Laporta against the Bucs defense, or should I start Dallas Goedert against the Jets defense?
Ooh.
I mean, I like Goddard, but as they always say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, going to hot hand.
Don't.
Laporta is pretty much catching fire so far. I will say that.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you know? 4-1, tied for first place in the league with me.
Yeah. And of course, as mentioned, Laporta is now the number one fantasy tight end. So, well, I don't know. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to put Mostert back in the starters, put Achan down on the bench. Looks like may have to get a different special team defense. I got the Bucs defense, but they're not doing too good projectively, and neither are the Saints. I may have to go to the waiver wire on that. But I guess that's basically our fantasy previews for our fantasy league, the recap and the previews. And now, folks, to give y'all a little bit more insights, I just noticed it right up here. Got some hot topics. Flynn, what do you got for us?
So I definitely think we want to start to see what the Rolodex is in Cowboy land after the 49ers took down the Cowboys, because I think obviously everyone's talking about things from a Cowboys perspective, because that's where all the media is pointed towards. They want this narrative about the Cowboys, but I think we need to talk about this from a San Francisco side too, because I think we really need to talk about this from a 49ers perspective, don't we think?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we could.
I don't know why they were just better than what we were. In fact, Flynn, play coach Dennis Green. May God rest his soul. This is all I got to say about the Niners. Go ahead and play them.
Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
Yep, pretty much explains it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Now it looks like the 49ers may be the number one team in the NFC, but But don't tell anyone in Philadelphia that.
Yeah, but I think I think you gotta be be beyond that. I feel it's like the 49ers are the best team in the NFL, don't you think? Out of all 32 teams, and
Oh yeah.
it's it and
Better than
Also,
Kansas City.
considering Brock Purdy's undefeated as a starter in his career.
yeah,
Brock Purdy. You talk about getting a diamond in the rough, you know.
I mean, this is turning into one of the most incredible stories the NFL has ever seen. Now we got to get Brock Purdy to win some Super Bowls. Then we can talk about him being one of the all-time great stories, and maybe maybe the biggest heist, going from Mr. Irrelevant to now Mr. Relevant, because Brock Purdy now is entering this week is the number 5 quarterback in fantasy football. Number 5.
Wow.
And I shared a little funny video earlier today. It said Kyle Shanahan looking for an elite quarterback or something. I posted a little link earlier.
Yeah.
Of course, I probably didn't see it because my Facebook was hacked.
Oh, true.
Yeah, so I didn't see it. But if you got Discord, you can send it there. Anyway, what else we got, Flynn?
So that's one, but I think it is worth. If we can get this up there.
The best part of the years have gone by.
Around. Every now and then I get a little bit terrified, and then I see the look in your eyes. Turn around, bite eyes. Every now and then I fall apart, and I need you now tonight, and I need you more than ever. And if you only hold me tight, we'll be holding on forever. And we'll only be making it right, 'cause we'll never be wrong.
The funny thing is that he looks like him a little bit.
So that was what you're talking about.
That was very, very interesting. And why was even Trey Lance there? Because Trey Lance is no longer in San Francisco. He's now in Dallas.
Yeah.
They showed all the names of their past quarterbacks, basically.
Yeah, past quarterback, but wow.
Yeah, like if you look at Brock Purdy's like child photos, those two look alike a little bit. He
does look like a kid. Granted, he went he was just a quarterback of Iowa State. Mind you.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, but that's a bit big there. I mean, the defense was incredible. Fred Warner was all over the place. He had the strip sack. He didn't have the strip sack, but it was he forced a fumble on Tony Pollard, which and the way he forced that was incredible. The Nick Bosa was a matchup nightmare. Let's see, and then of course George Kittle and the way the 49ers are able to call plays and the way they were able to keep Dallas off pace was simply majestic.
Yeah, and then like I said, in big games when the Cowboys are down, and Dak Prescott's trying to get the boys back, he just ends up choking.
Yeah.
I don't know. And he's got a matchup against Chargers on Monday night. Of course, we'll get to that.
Yeah, and that's not going to be easy too, because it's the Kellen Moore revenge game, similar to what happened with it's not to a larger degree, more like a smaller degree with what happened with his falling out with Dallas. So so you gotta take that for what it's worth. But speaking of an NFC East team going to play an NFC West team, how about the Philadelphia Eagles going into LA and and making it look easy against the Rams, because I think that's the result to me that's get lost under the radar a little bit. So I think the Eagles deserve a lot of credit for doing that. But before we continue talking about the Philadelphia Eagles, we have this other question for you, Tim.
Super C and B Challengers. What is Jets trade value right now? Jets trade
It's
value?
Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson. What's his trade value? Just got offered him for James Cook and Addison.
So Justin Jefferson's is on IR, I think.
Yeah. But of course, he might be back in about 4 weeks or so.
It's that he'd be giving away James Cook and Jordan Addison. So definitely I mean, if Jordan Addison becomes number one receiver in an offense with Kevin O'Connell and Kirk Cousins, I think you gotta consider letting him go. So he'll be giving away Cook and Addison. So I think you gotta keep him then, because sorry I misread that. So he be getting Justin Jefferson and giving up James Cook and Jordan Addison. I think you gotta stick with Cook and Addison for now.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe later on when he's healthy, I would maybe consider that trade.
Right.
But we also show. So speaking of the Eagles, how about the AJ Brown was terrific. Dallas Goedert was excellent. The defense played very well, especially that defensive line. So I think the Eagles quietly are 5-0 alongside the San Francisco 49ers. So you can take that for what it's worth over there.
Yeah.
So another big story. The Pittsburgh Steelers knocked off the Baltimore Ravens in what was a bizarre game in Pittsburgh. So I feel like that was a game that was in the Mike Tomlin special bag.
No, it had to be. It had to be. Obviously, I picked the Ravens in that one.
Yeah,
but,
we all picked Baltimore, but I did say the Steelers were going to make it close, because I couldn't pick Pittsburgh minus I couldn't pick Baltimore minus 4.5 because I had to guard against a potential close game there, but
right.
yeah, but would you look at these old AFC standings, and the Pittsburgh Steelers, there they are in first place.
Wow.
Yeah, I still gotta get one of those things for myself.
Yeah, and also Jacksonville in first place after beating Buffalo in London. So the Jaguars go 2-0 in London, and they pulled up maybe the most. Maybe the most shocking result of the week.
Yeah, I called it.
Yeah, you did call it, but
Yes.
did you call the Miami Dolphins winning against our Giants? No.
Yeah, I said I would give them one more chance. They blew it, so that's it.
Yeah, you're gonna pick. But to be fair, the Giants have had the hardest schedule in the league for the first 5 weeks of the season, because they had to play Dallas, San Francisco, Miami, and Seattle. And all those teams. I mean, Dallas has 2 losses, but San Francisco is unbeaten, and Seattle has 1 loss. Arizona has 1 loss. So I think that was a big hot topic over there. Yeah, so we have a couple of fascinating games. I feel like the most there are 3 fascinating games that I'm going to be previewing in depth on my podcast on Thursday. But we'll get to those later in the show when we talk about when we reveal our picks and predictions.
Right. Oh. So basically, that's our hot topics. Now it's time to give you players, you fantasy players out there, a little bit of an edge on what you should do right now. Oh, you want to go ahead and do that right now?
I said, did you want to do that right now, or we ready for it?
Yeah, why not? Why not? Let's go ahead and do this. This is a brand new segment that we are premiering on this show tonight. It's Tim's Tough Trivia. This is just an idea I came up with, and so let me get my information here up on my laptop right now. Okay, there it is. Okay, here is this week's trivia question from Tim's Tough Trivia. Here's the first question.
Okay.
Oh.
Now, we'll give you all the answer at the end of the show.
Oh.
Well, think about the answer to this question. The 42-10 book whooping that the 49ers gave the Cowboys was their largest margin of victory in the history of their rivalry with the Cowboys. The question is, what is the Cowboys' largest margin of victory against the Niners in the history of this rivalry?
Okay.
What is the Cowboys' largest margin of victory against the 49ers in the history of that rivalry? Of course, it's going to be a numerical answer.
Right.
So we'll let y'all try to think of an answer to that question while we go ahead and go to our stardoms and situms for the week.
All right. So Flynn, do you have a column too, or is it just me doing it?
It is going to be just you for the week. So,
Okay. I guess I got it. So you want to do this moving forward? Alternate you, me. Want to do it like that?
Sure. We can mix it up week in and week out. So I think for this week it's going to be we're gonna have you do it.
Okay, yeah. We'll do patterns like you, me, kind of like that.
Yeah, I mean, and some weeks, so both of us will give you we'll do it. And if Tim wants to do one as well, he can go ahead and do that.
All right. All right. So I guess without further ado, ready to get this started?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right.
Go ahead.
All right. Oh yeah, my start of the week. I think this one's going to be a pretty obvious one given the matchups. My quarterback start of the week is going to be Tua Tagovailoa of the Miami Dolphins. Yeah. He's definitely on a hot tear this week. Been on a hot tear. They're playing the Panthers, who are still looking for their first win. Panthers definitely going to have to wait even longer. They have no defense, and they only have a couple of decent offensive pieces. That's definitely not going to be enough. Not only that, the Dolphins is my lock of the week. All right. My running back start of the week. This one was a tough one, but despite this being the toilet bowl game of the week for me, I'm going to give it to Josh Jacobs. He's been on a bit of a tear lately. I think he's finally starting to return to his old self. He's getting involved in the passing game too. So I think he's going to do very well here. All right, my stardom wide receiver for the week. A bit of an unconventional pick, but oddly enough, I'm actually going to go with the rookie, Jordan Addison, especially considering that Justin Jefferson is going to be out for at least 4 weeks with an injury. This means Addison is probably the number one wide receiver. As long as he gets more targets and catches than KJ Osborne, he's your clear number one for now and should be trusted moving forward, despite the Vikings having a rough patch. Now, my stardom tight end of the week, this is the guy that we just talked about, raved about. He's the number one tight end in all of fantasy right now, Sam Laporta. Yeah, I think he's a candidate for offensive rookie of the year if he keeps this up. And yeah, considering that they're playing, let me see here, check my notes. And I forgot who they were playing. Let me see. Oh yeah, considering that they're playing the Bucs. The Bucs aren't particularly great at all. And then, like I said, yeah, I think if Sam Laporta keeps this up, he could very well beat Bijan Robinson for Rookie of the Year. And my starting defense, I think this is a pretty obvious choice with the Giants struggling and whatnot. I got to go with Buffalo here, especially with the Giants being bad on primetime games. Bills are definitely a safe bet here. And starting kicker of the week, this was kind of a coin flip here. I'm picking Jason Myers of the Seattle Seahawks. And the Bengals are still taking their time getting into the swing of things. I think Myers is going to get a lot of field goal attempts here with the Bengals defense still trying to get things together. All right, now my sits for the week. I used this word before. I'll use it again. This is the toilet bowl game of the week. So for that reason, I'm sitting Mac Jones. He's been horrible. The Patriots are a hot mess right now. Yeah, this is quite possibly the worst season in Coach Belichick's career. All right, my sit-em running back of the week. This might be a bit of an odd choice, but I'm going with Breece Hall of the New York Jets. And the Jets haven't been involved in the running game at all. And Dalvin Cook, for that matter. The Jets' only hope here is to get involved in the passing game. Because, yeah, you're definitely not running past that Eagles defense. No way. Your only hope is to go through the air. And that's not happening either. And my wide receiver center of the week is going to be Elijah Moore of the Browns. It's going to be, he has a very tough matchup with one of the best defenses in the league, the 49ers. Yeah, Fred Warner is definitely going to try to chase him. He's going to tackle him right away when he gets the ball. So, yeah, you definitely want to sit him. The tight end one was kind of tough, but I'm going to be sitting Hunter Henry in this one. And as I said, the team is a hot mess once again. So, yeah. And my defense sit-em of the week is the Carolina Panthers. Yeah, they're still winless, looking for their first win. Probably not going to happen for a while. And my kicker sit-em of the week is going to be Will Lutz of the Denver Broncos. Yeah, they're a hot mess too. One of the worst teams in the AFC. Yeah, the defense just doesn't have it. The offense doesn't have it either. So there you have it. Those are my starts and sits for the week.
Well, all righty then. Thank you, Mr. Natale. Hopefully all of you will take a few tips from him and make those adjustments to your fantasy league as well as we'll make those kind of adjustments. So right now, let us go to the tail of tape for each one of this week's matchups in the NFL. Once again, a reminder for all of you, the bye week teams are the Green Bay Packers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers and the Packers are on the bye, so if you got any players from those, bench them or drop them. We'll talk about them next week. Week 6 in the NFL begins with a classic rivalry in the AFC West. Denver Broncos and Kansas City Chiefs. This is always a very interesting matchup here. Looking at the quarterbacks, you got Mahomes and Wilson. Mahomes looking to score pretty big points there. Isaiah Pacheco has become a really great young running back for the Chiefs. Looks like the edge for the receivers would eventually go to Jerry Jeudy and Courtland Sutton, even though Rashee Rice has been pretty good for the Chiefs so far.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting with the Chiefs that Rashee Rice. I mean, because I know because it should be Sky Moore. I mean, in the flex instead of Rashee Rice, but it's kind of interesting that Rashee Rice is slowly becoming the number one wide receiver for the Chiefs. So especially if Travis Kelce can't go, you're going to look at Rashee Rice and you're going to like his chances going up against that Denver defense, which ranks number 30th.
Yes, so looks like Even though the Broncos have some good receivers, it looks like the Chiefs may have the edge on this one here. Going to our next game, it's the Ravens and the Titans. This will be at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium over in Jelly Old England. And it looks like it's Lamar Jackson and Ryan Tannehill. That's like I've said it before, I've said it again. I've never really trusted Ryan Tannehill, no matter where he's played.
Yes. So explain why I picked the Titans to beat the Indianapolis Colts last week.
Right. We have the Commanders and the Falcons. A couple of young quarterbacks, Sam Howell and Desmond Ridder, starting for those teams.
Yeah, and interesting. But both quarterbacks were they were talked about being a potential first round picks last year, but Desmond Ridder was picked in the 3rd round, while Sam Howell was dropped all the way down to the 5th round, which I think was fascinating. But both of these quarterbacks are going head to head, and both of them are projected in regular scoring to score under 15 points.
Yeah. And my man Bijan Robinson from
Texas. Yeah, what happened at the end of there? What happened against Oklahoma?
I don't know. They just got us right there at the end, right there, and that knocked Texas all the way down to number 9.
Yeah,
top 25.
Brent Venables has done a good job resurrecting that Oklahoma program after Lincoln Riley and Caleb Williams left. But other than that, anyways, Washington has edges at the wide receivers positions with Terry McLaurin, Curtis Samuel, Jahan Dotson, and Atlanta is now forming a really good tight end duo with Kyle Pitts and Jonnu Smith.
Yeah, definitely. Not much to say else about this matchup. Next, we have NFC North division matchup between the Vikings and the Bears. Kirk Cousins, well, at least he's got a chance because he's playing an early game, because seems like he doesn't do too well in the late games, and he definitely does not do well in prime time. Yeah, so he may have a chance here. But of course, the big factor in this matchup, no Justin Jefferson.
Yes, so you see it a tick ups with Jordan Addison's and KJ Osborne's projections. That they've been, for the last few weeks, they've been hovering around 9-10 points. Now they're bumped up to around 13 points.
Yeah, so you got the number 3 and number 4 tight ends in fantasy going up against each other. Hawkinson versus Kmet.
Yeah, Cole Kmet.
Either one of those would be a great pickup if you can get them.
Yeah, Cole Kmet is only flew under the radar. He was a tight end at Notre. He was the predecessor for Michael Mayer as the tight end from Notre Dame, and he's done very well. He played a very good game against Washington last week, and because of that 49-point performance, DJ Moore is now the number 4 wide receiver in fantasy football.
Yeah, they actually had a huge game last week. Yeah, definitely. And so it looks like the edge will go to the Vikings going against the last ranked defense in fantasy. So now we got the Seahawks and the Bengals. An interesting matchup here. Geno Smith and Joe Burrow, almost even as far as those are concerned. Kenneth Walker III for Seahawks. Then you got Zach Charbonnet. Break open the bottle of the Charbonnet. Jamar Chase, a great game last week. Looking to make another big statement here in this matchup against that defensive Seahawks that's ranked 13th among fantasy defenses. So T. Higgins don't count him out. He can provide some action as well as Mr. Chase there. So that's pretty much the only real highlights I see on that one. 49ers, it looks like they have another big butt whooping to give this week. This time they're going into Cleveland against the Browns. And, well, how much can you say there? Number one running back in fantasy, the number 5 quarterback in fantasy, the number 6 tight end in fantasy, number 5 defense special teams, and number 7 kicker.
Yes,
Not much
yeah,
else to say there.
But I do think this is going to be an interesting game because as you guys know, I've been much higher on the Browns than Natalie and Tim's, and this is a Browns team that is coming off a bye week, so you notice that it's actually a little bit closer when you look at the wide receivers and the quarterback than that you normally expect. So I don't necessarily believe that this is going to be dare I say a cakewalk by any stretch of the imagination, but this definitely feels like a game that San Francisco should win by approximately 7 to 10 points.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That'll be interesting to see right there.
Alrighty, let's get you on to the next matchup.
New Orleans Saints versus Houston Texans. CJ Stroud's having a pretty decent year. Dalton Schultz, 12th ranked tight end in fantasy right now, going against Jerron Johnson, who is questionable for the Seahawks. Kamara is, of course, back in the lineup for the Seahawks. And the Saints are the number 3 defense in fantasy right now. So this ought to be kind of interesting right there. Colts and Jaguars. And AFC South matchup right here. And it seems like for the last maybe 4 or 5 years, the Jaguars have pretty much owned the Colts. So it looks like the Minshew Mania is going to be running wild again with the injury to Anthony Richardson. Jonathan Taylor got back in the lineup last week. Travis Etienne Jr., number 4 ranked running back in fantasy. Evan Ingram, number 7 tight end. So I think I've got the Jaguars for this one because, like I said, they pretty much own the Colts for the last few years.
Yeah, and I have Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne in this league, but I'm definitely gonna consider taking my chances with Trevor Lawrence as compared to Russell Wilson, who I have going up against Kansas City.
Right.
Let me.
Next, we have the Carolina Panthers against the Miami Dolphins. Looking at you, well, you got the number 1 receiver with Tyreek Hill, the number 2 rusher with Raheem Mostert. He, of course, will be taking over for Devon Chan. Tua at number 7 among the quarterbacks. And the highest ranking for the Panthers is their defense at number 12. Everyone else is, well, we got Adam Thielen, number 10 receiver among the fantasy wideouts. But it looks like we pretty much know who's going to get the edge on this one. So, what else in there? Patriots at Raiders. Raiders just escaped the clutches of the Packers last night. And there's Mac Jones with his numbers, but of course, as Natalie alluded to earlier, it would be best to just sit back Jones and find another quarterback. And it looks like Ezekiel Elliott is down to running back 2.
Yeah, as he's always been as a member of the New England Patriots, yes.
Mm-hmm. Hunter Henry. Bench him. Sorry, guys. No, I think I finished off my drink. I may have to go grab another one. This will be an interesting matchup, but the Patriots are just a hot mess. I keep saying this will probably be Bill Belichick's final year as head coach.
Yeah, and Bill Belichick's still looking for his 300th career regular season win as an NFL head coach.
Still looking. So surprisingly, as far as I'm concerned, Josh McDaniels' job is still okay right now.
Yeah, I mean, Jordan Love was so bad because because his QBR was the lowest of any quarterback. One of the lowest of any quarterback last week, at 13.2 QBR because of his 3 interceptions, including the one at the end to clinch it. And look, the Packers defense gave and the Raiders and the Raiders and the Packers defense gave the Packers a chance to win. Because with the Raiders special teams, the 2 missed field goals by Daniel Carlson, hence hit his number 31 ranking in fantasy, because he hasn't had many chances because the Raiders have been scoring touchdowns more often than not. But he had 2 opportunities to give fantasy owners 5 points because with 50+ yard field goals, and he missed both of them. Which made this a competitive, made this a closer game than you think. But I still didn't understand any of the logic, but with Josh McDaniels kicking the field goal after having the first 50+ yarder blocked earlier in the game. But hey, his defense bailed him out, and Jordan Love. And also Jordan Love throwing the ball to the other team. But I do have to say, I think I told you guys this. I don't know if Tim saw it, but I told Natalie this, but that was the single toughest game of the week for me to pick. And I'll tell you, so I'll let you know about that later on. So, now 4:25 p.m. matchups.
Yeah, so we began with the Lions and the Buccaneers. Looks like Baker Mayfield will get the start at Tampa Bay. Rashad White, Keyshawn Vaughn, their running backs. Mike Evans projected for almost 17. Amon-Ra St. Brown projected to make almost 16.
Yeah, but both receivers are currently questionable.
Right. So that could be a factor.
Looks like you wrote someone's name twice.
Yeah, I did. So, but I'm fine with that.
Yeah. I'm looking for Samuel Ford to have a big game. That's definitely a starter, as was mentioned earlier. So.
Yep. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right. I'll remember that since I do have Dallas Goedert on my bench.
Yeah. And hey, and while you're there, one of those 2 guys could be a very valuable trade chip. If you need upgrades elsewhere on your roster.
There you go. So let's see inside that last.
Yeah. But do you have any more comments about this matchup?
Not particularly. I mean, I think this one should be an easy win for the Lions, but we'll see.
Yeah. So we'll see what we really think at the end.
Okay.
So this is going to be an interesting matchup because Amari DiMercato scored his first NFL touchdown for the Cardinals in their loss to Cincinnati, and he's going to be the main back for Arizona because James Conner is on injured reserve. So Amari DiMercano is going to be a hot commodity on the waiver wire. So hopefully you placed waiver claims on him.
Oh yeah. I don't think DeMarcado. So if he is still available in this league or in any one of my other leagues, I may go ahead and get a shot at him and maybe even Kyron Williams for the Rams.
Yeah, I think Kyron Williams. I want to see exactly what the percentages for Kyron Williams, but it's pretty substantial now that the Cam Akers situation is fully resolved.
Yeah, seems like good. And of course, you got the third ranked wide receiver in fantasy with Puka Nakua. And you got Cardinals defense ranked 21, and the Rams defense is kind of ranked at 29 down there. So
yeah, so 96.8% of leagues, Kyron Williams is occupied, and with 88.5% starting. So if you didn't get Kyron Williams right now, you're pretty much out of luck on that front.
Looks like the tally is got a little problem. Of course, he'll come back.
Yeah,
so that's probably one of the more intriguing matchups for this week.
Yeah, and in fact, right now, according to my ESPN fantasy, that Kyron Williams 88.5% owned. He is the 8th most started running back. So he's pretty much a starter for everybody right now, and his 96.8% owned rate ranks number 13. But of course he's been overperforming this entire season so far.
Right.
Anyway, the Eagles and the Jets playing at the Meadowlands, and this is Mark Sanchez's first time calling a Jets game because Kevin Kugler, and Laura Oakman are calling the game.
Yeah, Eagles Jets. Yeah, looks like it's going to be another scoring fest for the Eagles. I mean, Zach Wilson has done okay, but he's going up against that Zach Wilson led Jets defense has gone up against the 9th ranked defense. But meanwhile, the Jets have the 7th ranked defense in fantasy, which is kind of interesting to me.
Yeah, and I think what's also interesting is the defense / special teams ranked. Obviously, Philadelphia's number for this matchup would be a lot lower if Aaron Rodgers was playing, but I do think this will be a competitive game until the Eagles pull away late.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Alrighty. So now on to the Buffalo Bills and the New York Football Giants, guys.
Another great Empire State battle right here, but I don't think this will be even close.
Yes, especially with Saquon Barkley being out, with Andrew Thomas being out, John Michael. I don't think either one of them is going to play, and I don't think either one's going to make a difference with my predictions here.
Yeah.
Seb, although I don't know if you saw this, Natalia, but you know what? But Daniel Jones was given a PFF grade of 87.9 for his game against Miami on Sunday, which is one of the highest in the league.
Really?
Yeah, and if you actually look at the tape, he actually wasn't that bad.
No, that is true. He has no line. That's the problem.
Right, because I think there was like one throw that I saw in real time that looked a little wonky, but other than that, when he had time, he was pretty fair. He was pretty good.
Yeah, his connections with Waller, I think, saved him.
Darren Waller had a very good game, I thought, and hence why he's now moved up to being the number 9 tight end, and the lone fantasy bright spot right now for this New York Giants team. Yeah, meanwhile, the Bills are pretty much healthy, except for a couple of pieces on defense. Matt Milano got hurt, he suffered a big time injury, and that's going to be a really big hit for Buffalo. And you felt it felt like that injury changed the whole game against Jacksonville. And also, would you look at that, Wan'Dale Robinson is the highest projected receiver on this Giants team right now.
Interesting.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time this summer debating who is going to be the number 1 wide receiver for the Giants, and right now the answer is looking like Wan'Dale Robinson.
And now we go to the Monday night matchup. Cowboys and the Chargers. Cowboys are going to try to get the stink out of San Francisco, and now they head to Los Angeles, staying on the West Coast for the second week in a row, going up against a Charger team with some really good players. However, as y'all noticed, Justin Herbert and Austin Eckler are both questionable. Keenan Allen projected to make 17.7. Brandon Cooks, good flex player, I guess. CeeDee Lamb, of course, good. Tony Pollard's going to have good numbers. Herbert expected to make more than Prescott, so I guess the Chargers would probably have the edge against the Cowboys defense, which surprisingly, the Cowboys are still the number 1 ranked defense in fantasy after that huge debacle in San Francisco.
Yeah. I believe you are still correct on that one, but I think the main reason is because of the Patriots game, the Giants game, or of the first 4 weeks. But I think the thing about the Cowboys is that they've had the first 4 weeks of the season, they have the Giants, the Jets, the Cardinals, and the Patriots.
And those 4 teams probably will not even make the playoffs.
Yeah, and now the Cowboys. So what is it? They have the Chargers, and then I think they have a bye week within. They have the Chargers.
Next one, they got the bye. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the home. Yeah, then they're home against the Rams week 8, and then week 9 they have a showdown in the against at Lincoln Financial Field against the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, so I know it doesn't seem like it's going to get much easier for my Cowboys here, but
yeah, that's it. And then what is it? Then you have weeks 13 through 17. You have Seattle, Philly, Buffalo, Miami, and Detroit. After that,
talk about very, very tough back end of the schedule right there. So those are the matchups. Now we got to get to the numbers.
I don't feel so good about this.
Yeah, I know you don't feel so good about this because I can't wait to destroy you on a couple of the picks you made.
I know regular pick wise, I think I did okay.
Yeah, but in week 5, it should be week 5 of there, not week 2.
Right.
I went 9-5.
Yeah, you went 9-5 against the spread. You went 9-5 straight up.
Holy moly!
Yeah,
I thought I did terrible for some reason.
Yeah.
How did I do that?
Yep. So now, Tim. So for picking the winners, you and the two of you are tied for first with 47 and 31, while I'm 3 games behind you. And then against the spread, Natalia picked up 2 games on Tim, while I Well, I only went 6-8 last week against the spread. So I'm 5 games behind Tim. I'm 3 games behind the tally. So, but yeah. So here are the summary of our picks for week number 6 of the National Football League. All of us have Kansas City beating the Denver Broncos. Although Tim is going with thinking the backdoor cover here when we're looking at the Broncos and the Chiefs. We all have the Ravens winning and covering. We all have the Falcons winning and covering. I'm picking the Vikings to win and cover here, while both of you are going to pick the Justin Fields and the rejuvenated Chicago Bears.
Justin Jefferson being out did it for me.
Yeah, but I think I see. This was the thing. I was back and forth with this game, but I think I came to remember it's Kevin O'Connell against Matt Eberflus, and the Vikings defense is coached up by Brian Flores. So I think the coaching was the thing that maybe decide this. So that was actually the second toughest game of the week for me to pick behind Raiders Patriots. But we all have the Bengals. The Tally and Tim have the same score. We all have the 49ers. The Tally is going to pick the New Orleans Saints, while Tim and I pick D'Amico Ryan, CJ Stroud of the Houston Texans. We're all taking Jacksonville. We're all taking Miami, although I have Miami winning by 13. So from my Hooked on Sports podcast on Thursday, I really want to see what that line is because I might have to pick the Dolphins to win and cover, despite having the Panthers covering.
I was considering the Panthers covering the spread. I almost did it.
Yes.
I mean, well, you have the Dolphins winning by 26, not exactly 13.5.
Oh, whoops! Never mind. I read that wrong.
I mean, Tim is closer. Than you. He has the Dolphins winning by 16 points. Now, this game here was the toughest game of the week for me to pick: the Raiders, and the Patriots. So the premise behind my Raiders pick last week, and by the way, I told you guys the Raiders were going to beat the Packers. It was basically like we had to choose between two evils: a terrible coach or a terrible quarterback, and the terrible coach won. Now this matchup is Bill Belichick against his former assistant Josh McDaniels, and this was a game I originally circled preseason as the Patriots picking up their first win, because remember I had the Patriots starting the season 0-5. I thought. But if Aaron Rodgers played instead of Zach Wilson, the Patriots would have started the season 0-5. But Mac Jones has been awful, god awful. So that's why I could. And you guys know my stance on Josh McDaniels. Everybody knows that he's not the answer. But the Raiders at 3-3. Just on the fringe of a playoff spot after 6 weeks. What kind of world are we living in? We all have the Detroit. Look, we all have the Detroit Lions taking care of business against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and from what I saw here on the what I saw here from the tally was. Let me pull this up. Then the next game for the tally is. I don't remember doing that. Wait, let me check my messages. I thought I picked the Rams. Let me look again. You took the Cardinals.
I did?
Yep, the Cardinals over.
That's like it is.
Oh, oops. All right, we'll just stick with it. That was an accident on my part, but we'll just stick with it. We'll wing it. We'll go for it.
All right.
I meant to write the Rams, but I made a mistake.
So, but to be fair, when we did the NFC West schedule, that was the game I originally had Arizona winning.
Yeah.
So
I wrote Cardinals by mistake. I meant Rams, but we'll just we'll keep it for now.
Yeah, I originally had that, but I think seeing the way the Rams have been playing, that's why I couldn't do that. Although I do have the Cardinals covering because I feel like it's going to be going to be a close game. So I'm picking the Cardinals to cover to guard against a potential overtime game.
Right.
Yeah, but anyway, we all have the Eagles covering, winning and covering, and I think the craziest part of Tim's picks for me is having the Eagles score 41 against that Jets defense. I mean, that to me is impossible to me.
Mm.
I just have this feeling that the Eagles defense is just going to be a little too much.
Yeah. Yeah, but 41 points from the offense from the Eagles. I mean, yikes.
Could be see a big combination with Hurts and Brown.
Yeah. Anyway, we all have the Buffalo Bills winning, and we all are laying the 14 points on that. And I could. It's also the combination of Daniel Jones in prime time, another prime time game for Daniel Jones. 1-11 lifetime in prime time, and this is going up against the Bills defense. It's just simply not a fair fight. And then I went the other way. I picked the Chargers to win on Monday night, and both of you guys are rolling with the Dallas Cowboys.
And yeah, I don't really see I didn't really see any games here to make an upset special here, but I think I'll be interested to see on the list here. I don't know why it's not highlighted over there, but I am actually give me a lock on those Jaguars.
So you think the Jaguars by 8 is your lock of the week?
Yeah, because well, I've already picked Kansas City earlier this year. I picked Miami this year. I picked San Francisco this year. I picked the Ravens this year. So I got to go with a different team. So I'm going to lock up Jacksonville. Because, like I've said, they've pretty much owned the Colts for the last few years.
Yeah. So, and meanwhile, my lock of the week is the Bills over my New York.
Yeah, it looks like mine is the Dolphins over the Panthers.
Yep.
Very interesting picks there, guys.
Yeah, and so no solo picks this week for Tim, but I have a couple and Natalia has a couple. So
yeah, well, one of them was an accident, but I'm just gonna keep it just for the giggles.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it
The Cardinals one, that was an accident, but I'm gonna.
But wouldn't it be crazy?
Yeah.
If the Cardinals actually did beat those Rams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, wouldn't it be something if it came down to Natalia and Tim for the best overall record, and that game was the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, but I'm gonna keep it since that was my accident. I'm gonna keep it the way it is.
Yeah, but I think this is a sort of a quite intriguing 1:00 slate because you have San Francisco taking on Cleveland. Although I think it's going to be a closer game than people think. I think Seattle and Cincinnati. I think the way Seattle played defensively, granted it was against the Giants, but and that porous offensive line, but Seattle coming off a bye week, Cincinnati trying to build off a victory against Arizona. I'm also interested in what the Jaguars are going to do against Indianapolis, and then I'm also going to be interested in the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears and the Falcons and the Commanders. So you have five, maybe 6 interesting games all in the 1:00 slot. So
very, 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 very interesting matchups at the 1:00 slot. So yeah.
Go ahead, Tim. What are you gonna say?
So I was gonna say once again, reminder: Steelers and Packers are on the bye. So So adjust your fantasy teams.
Yes.
So
It's
we have a question. A question. I just now noticed it right there.
all right.
It's from Chris Bork.
Oh my God! How did I not see that? So Jerry Goff against the Bucks or C.J. Stroud against the Saints?
Ooh. I'm leaning towards Jared Goff.
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking C.J. Stroud because the Lions the Bucks defense tends to be tough against the pass, and C.J. Stroud already had a really good game against a good defense already this year in Pittsburgh. So I definitely think C.J. Stroud has enough confidence to go down and beat the New Orleans defend home turf against the New Orleans Saints. So we actually have differing opinions on that.
Yeah, so I was thinking of that Goff and Laporta connection. Like they've been lights out these past few weeks.
Yeah.
And with St. Brown probably coming back, he'll get his main wide receiver back. The Lions, I think, are just a better team right now.
Yeah.
Right. I'm leaning towards Jared Goff this week. What do I think? So
Tim, we got that. You ready for that? Close out with that question.
Yes. Are you ready for the? Okay.
Wait. Could I take a guess?
So
let me just go ahead and repeat the question. The 32-point victory for the Niners over the Cowboys this past Sunday was the biggest margin of victory for the Niners in their history with the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
The question was, what was the Cowboys' largest margin of victory against the Niners in their rivalry?
Yes.
Ooh, so I remember that a few years ago. I think Dallas put on a big time beating on San Francisco. I think it was like 6 years ago. I think it was like a 20. It was like 44-20 something. But I know it wasn't. I know it wasn't in either of the NFC Championship game wins because I think that game was I think there was a 10-point victory and a 17-point victory. But I feel like that one was a little bit wider. So I'm going to say 23.
Yeah, for some reason I feel like it's higher than that. Yeah, for some reason I feel like it's higher than that. I'm gonna go a little bit bold here. I mean, my original guess was 28, but now I'm going to change it. I'm going to say 35.
Well, gang, the answer is the biggest margin of victory the Cowboys had against the Niners came in Week 6 of the 1980 NFL season.
Okay.
That was before Montana broke out against New Orleans. That was the year Montana led the 28-point comeback against New Orleans in 1980.
The final score in that game was Cowboys 59, 49ers 14. So that is a 45-point victory for the Cowboys. 45 points.
Wow.
45 points. That is the Cowboys' largest margin of victory over the Niners. Thanks to Danny White. I got pro-football-reference.com. I just get this information. Danny White, the original number 11 for the Cowboys. He went 16 of 22 for 239 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Drew Pearson caught 3 passes for 55 yards and 3 touchdowns. Billy Joe Dupree caught 1 pass for a touchdown. That was a 12-yarder. Steve DeBerg. Anybody remember him?
No.
Steve DeBerg, he was a quarterback for the Niners at the time. I think Montana was still at Notre Dame. Steve DeBerg went 12 of 35 for 173 yards, 2 touchdowns, but DeBerg threw 5 interceptions. And he was sacked 3 times as well. So that was pretty much the doomsday defense right there, the latter part of it. So the correct answer, Cowboys largest margin of victory against Niners, 45 points.
Yeah.
So we
so
have one more thing. Yes.
So I was actually looking at the at that 2017 game that I was mentioning. So that was a game the Cowboys won 40-10, and that was the second biggest blowout by the victory for the Cowboys over the
There you go.
49ers.
So let's go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. We were going to answer that question with.
Just got offered. I give up a Mike Hoover and I get Calvin Ridley. Do I accept?
I like that trade actually.
Yeah,
Ridley's been pretty solid.
I like that too.
Pull the trigger.
Yeah, especially if Cleveland's going to be a run first offense, even without Nick Chubb, because of what they have in Jerome Ford and Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt.
Oh yeah.
Right. Yeah, I would go ahead and pull the trigger on that deal. So well, I guess we had a good show. This
Oh yeah.
And we're just about to be about 1/6 of the way through the season.
So that more like 1/3, because 18 weeks. This is week 6.
Right. Week 6.
Oh, yeah,
so
that's
that'd be
1/3. Yep.
1/3 of the way through. Yeah. I mean, I was okay at math, so okay. Appreciate. Alex says he appreciates it. Hey, we appreciate you, Alex. Thanks for watching, and just tell your friends about us, and appreciate the question very much. Hopefully, we helped you there on that. So
yeah, and also make sure to subscribe to Tim's channel, because it's Timothy McClellan's channel, my channel, and of course my podcast, Hooked on Sports. I have a new episode that dropped today. So that's definitely check that out.
Oh yeah, definitely check that out. And don't forget, I'll be with our friend Alex Putnam and Alex and Lucas tomorrow with the Four Horsemen of Pick'ems on the APIZZLE 90 channel, APIZZLE 90. Y'all check it out. 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central, Wednesday nights. And of course, we will be back here next week, same time, same place. So, any parting words, gentlemen?
Yeah, this is going to be a fantastic slate of games for this week.
Underrated slate of games, which makes it that much more interesting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, that's what you play to win the games, right? Play that, Flynn. Coach Edwards.
I wasn't ready for that, but
hello, you play to win the game.
Exactly. That's what you do.
Yep, and like at least you don't have to. At least I don't have to hear the tower talk about Jordan Love as much because listen, I don't want. I'm going to say this. Don't let the early stats fool you. But Jordan Love is not a starting quarterback in fantasy football.
No, I'm starting Justin Fields this week.
Yep.
Yeah. So with that, I think we will put a bow on this package of Fantasy Football Fever. Thank you all for joining us. Check out John Flynn with Hooked on Sports. Got links in the description area, as always. He's always got some good stuff. So, on behalf of John Flynn, our Commissioner John Natale, and everyone, thanks for joining us. My name is Tim McClellan. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next week. Same time, same place. Good night. God bless you. As always, be a good sport. See ya.